Having thrown off the yoke of Santa's oppression in a previous year, the Christmas elves now face a brand new dilemma, an invasion of the foul Krampus resurgent in this year of the beast. They're here for the Christmas elves' lunch money, so let's take a look here at my patron coops, ready to take us in for a holiday special. We've got Krampus, led by, of course, the big KRAMPUS himself, along with a Brave Shaman Lord of Shadows. Also got a couple Feral Manticores here, some Tuskor Chariots, Sons of Goros, Ungor Herd, Krampus Herd. I've also got some Krampus Spear Herd and some Krampus Raiders, along with some Arwar throwing axes and some nice Christmas doggos. The elves coming in with some animated trees here, along with the Zoats. Reindeer Lord, we've got some Christmas elves with starfire shafts, some Christmas elf dancers, wild riders, reindeer riders, that is. Not the big reindeer riders, just the little ones, but we're going to get things started here. Krampus charging straight up the pipe with those chariots. Biggie chariots getting in. The Zoats are going to meet them straight in the front line, try and teach them the error of their ways. Lots of Ungor Raider fire coming in as well. Things are looking pretty good. Just kind of holding back with the two Manticores for the time being. KRAMPUS himself also getting in here now with the Sons of Goros. They're going to give him that sweet Guardian for physical resistance. Not that it will matter much against the magic damage and anti-large of the Zoats, so we're going to hit them with an enfeebling foe. Meanwhile, Hounds are attacking the flank here, being held up by some Blade Riders. Some Christmas Riders. Nice Penumbral Pendulum there down the Starfire shaft, so some nice back and forth so far. Reindeer Riders pushing into the second level, getting the Krampus Raiders. Krampus Raiders, of course, one of the most OP ranged units in the entire game. If you didn't know, now you know. They're going to get rear charged by the RORs, though, the Reindeer Riders, that is. Grog Hooves, ready to drink the eggnog. Get in there with their regeneration, rear charge those Wild Riders and clean them up. Chariots also trying to keep these Dryads from getting into my back line and shutting down those archers. Saga of the Hounds continues as they just grind on those Eternal Guards here, and the two Manticores also trying to get rid of one Dryad, but funny enough, Dryads actually immune to Psychology, so they won't be able to terrify them away. The center fight, though, KRAMPUS pulled out of there. He obviously wants to take advantage of his massive 110 charge bonus. Doesn't want to sit in sustained combat against the 70 attack, 60 defense of the Reindeer Lord. Definitely very strong. Only 60 armor on the Reindeer Lord, though, so this little bit of Ungor Raider fire is going to do some okay damage. Sons of Goros did manage to rout the Zoats there, but they themselves also got routed. The Chariot's going to be chasing some of the regrouping Christmas elves, trying to keep them from doing so. Hounds are still fighting these Eternal Guards here. The North Pole Guards, if you will. And there's also plenty of North Pole Guards fighting here in the center. We're going to put another enfeebling foe on the Christmas Tree Wraith. Yeah, the Tree Wraith just doing a great job. Nice little rear shot Arrows of Kurnos, I think. Tried to go into the Manticore there. I don't know if it really made that great a contact. But Christmas Elves are a little bit behind on the balance of power for the time being, but certainly have plenty of capacity to get back in. Zoats are coming back, cleaning up some of the Chariots, trying to bail out some of these archers. We've got, these Eternal Guards coming back in, Dryads coming back in, and in sustained combat, I mean, Earthblood here to help the Reindeer Lord fight. Gonna get some good regeneration there. Kazrak also using Apocalyptic Vision. Gonna do okay in sustained melee combat, but the infantry support situation definitely turning in favor of the Christmas Elves as the Glade Guards come in. Their anti-large AP, you can see, getting some good chunks out of Kazrak. We're going to throw another enfeebling foe there on the Reindeer Lord. Try and keep her debuffed as much as possible, or him, I guess. Yeah, I actually don't know. It's her. Yeah, we saw at the beginning. Grog Hooves going to be countercharging into the Zoats there. They've got Flesh to Stone active, so they're not going to take much damage at all. Up to 120 armor. Both units also have Woodsmen, so the woods won't matter too much, but mostly just trying to interrupt the Zoats and keep them from countercharging into the Manticores, into Kazrak here. Make sure we can finish off this Reindeer Lord, right? So I think there was another Earthblood there. It did actually hit the the Reindeer Lord there. I'm going to just go ahead and screen out with some of these Spearmen. With that Deadly Onslaught, Kazarak's up to 150 charge bonus, so I definitely want to cycle charge, pull up and around there, get a couple of hits in. Let's see. Yeah, big old hit right there on the Glade Lord. She got one more Arrows of Kurnos to finish off that Brave Shaman Lore of Shadows leadership, but unfortunately, the reinforcements regrouping here are just being interrupted continuously by the Grog Hooves. Tuskor Chariots also chasing off a nice little pocket here. The Zotes eventually do get through as I peel out of an unfavorable engagement. They're going to come in and just start to body these Manticores. Reindeer Lord also charging through, trying to get on the Manticores as well, get to the support of the Zotes, get away from Kazarak, but a rear charge from the Grog Hooves procs a terror route. And that will be army losses for the Christmas Elves. So a GG to Coops. Big thanks to him for jumping in at the last minute for a Christmas special. Big thanks to him for his patronage as well. I have to say, in general, for him and for all of my other patrons, you guys have really been the highlight of the year for me as far as the channel goes. So thank you all so much. This is probably the toughest matchup for the Wood Elves, so I did kind of mandate this as my Christmas special to him. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for jumping in. And I know it's a rough one. We did talk about this matchup a little bit. We're going to practice it some more when I get back from holiday on our next patron practice session. From a build perspective, I would say this build's pretty solid. The Zotes actually did a great job, I think. And I actually do kind of like the Zotes here. I think your missile situation, you could probably trade out these two Glade Guard infantry for missile cavalry. It's just so hard to protect infantry skirmishers against Beastmen. I mean, if you are going to take infantry skirmishers, the 360 shooting ones at least will be able to have a longer uptime of firing. But in general, I would say the Glade Riders have enough range that they can significantly outrange both Raiders and throwing axes, right? The speed allows them to stay out in front of those units and the Hounds and so forth. So I think probably going with mobile skirmish is the way to go here. And then likewise for Lord choice, I do appreciate the Reindeer Lord for the theming and the fun of the holiday, Festag and everything, but Orion would undoubtedly be better here. He provides you with terror, he's unbreakable, great anti-large damage as well. Definitely quite a bit tankier in a late game survival situation with the Cloak of Isha, so that's the kind of recommended changes I would make to this build. The rest, though, Glade, Reindeer Lord did carry some pretty good value there. The Dryads are a little bit of a tough go, but some of them trade pretty well into the Ungor infantry. Sword Dancers I would probably cut as well, just for an additional skirmish cavalry. I mean, the anti-infantry damage looks nice on paper against these light Beastmen infantry, but they themselves are so squishy that they're rarely going to get a good engagement. On my side, obviously, the chariots are so strong. Those kind of light chariots, the lower tier of chariots, if you will, are in general very strong against the Wood Elves for any faction, right? Whether that be Goblin chariots, Marauder chariots, you know, whatever else. In general, I would say the Tuskors are probably the best of the cheap chariots, considering they have Vanguard and AP damage as well. So, I mean, even though the AP damage isn't super applicable here, the Vanguard is, and just in general, the sort of unit class tends to perform well in this matchup, right? They synergize well with the rest of the Beastmen builds. So, I mean, one of them got canned a little bit there, didn't get a ton of value, but the other one definitely did. Grog Hooves also really strong ROR in general. The Sons of Goros are kind of necessary here in order to counter the possible Ethereal Stag Knights. He didn't end up bringing them here, but the Sons of Goros still able to get some pretty good damage on some of the Dryads and Zotes. The physical resistance, Wood Elves tend to have a lot of physical resistance anyway, right? So I'm sure the Sons of Goros will find some target to go after. Also love KRAMPUS here. He's definitely a lot of fun. One of the memeier lords in the game, but can be quite strong in the right situation. Ungor's also, I don't know how, 96 kills and 600 damage value. That is really good for regular old Ungors. So that's all for me for this holiday. Thank you all so much. Just wanted to, again, give a shout out to all my patrons and all of my channel members, and of course all of my viewers and subscribers as well. All you guys, the players, absolutely everyone in the community is the reason why I do this. So thank you all so much. Hope you have a happy Festag, wonderful holiday, wherever you are in the world. We'll see you next. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.